Welcome to the Champ and The Chump Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Idle, a.k.a. The Chump. And joining me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy I did not think of something witty to say for, your champion, Lou Willard. Lou, what's cracking?
You know, sometimes it's best just to keep it simple.
Yep.
The people know by, and if they don't know, they will know at the end of these leagues.
If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
You better ask somebody.
Today, sir, we are covering the NFC South and West, going over a little bit of what they did last year, going through what every fantasy relevant team is going to look like. And as a reminder, before we get started, this is based on 12-man PPR leagues. End of note. End of PSA.
That's it.
I know it sounded like I was going to say some other shit. I ain't got nothing else to say. Let's get breaking. NFC South. We got last year, top quarterbacks were Baker Mayfield leading the charge at 282 total points. Bryce Young came in with 218. Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins were neck and neck, basically due to injuries. Tyler Schuff came in, played really well with 157 total points, and Spencer Rattler had to do some relief duty for him. Running backs. I don't know if there's a good one in the NFC South, but this guy, Bijan Robinson, had a decent season. 370 total points. Clearly RB1. Clearly, well, I won't say clearly, but for a lot of people, overall number one pick in this year's draft. Chuba Hubbard did his thing with Rico Dowdle. Bucky Irving led the charge in Tampa Bay with Rachaad White and his catching ability. Tyler Algier got in the mix with 122 total points, and that rounds them out. Isn't that fun? Wide receivers. This one shocked me, Lou. Chris Olave led the charge with.
He had a good year.
He really quietly had a good year, which is why you and I have been really hyped on New Orleans players, and saying New Orleans, more importantly, has found their quarterback.
Yeah.
Drake,
they feel like they have.
Yeah, 100%. Drake London stepped up. A lot of his points came really towards the end of the season last year. He had a rough start. Mike Evans had a great start to the season, then got hurt. Thanks, Mike. You fucked me. Tara McMillan, great rookie campaign for Carolina. Really brought them back from the ashes. Emeka Egbuka was involved in the mix. He fell off towards the end of the year. That was really Tampa Bay overall when they started playing better teams. For the tight ends, rounding us out, Kyle Pitts had the big season with 210 points, started looking like he was supposed to. Cade Otton for Tampa Bay, Juwan Johnson, and you have the Carolina boys, Tommy Tremble and Jatavion Sanders. So
Yeah,
good.
The thing that stands out about me, the thing that stands out to me about this particular division is how bad the quarterback play was. If
Rough.
you look at that, when I was shocked when you said Baker led the division, because after week 6, dude fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
So therefore, he took Egbuka with him. He took Mike Evans with him. And so that's one thing that stands out about this division. The next thing that stands out is how many people you name that are no longer in this division.
Yeah.
They left and went to different teams. You know, Mike Evans is in San Francisco. Algiers in Arizona. The running back is in Pittsburgh.
Rico Dowdle.
Rico Dowdle's in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
You know, just to name a few. But then you have some new stars step in, like McMillan, that really helped Carolina out. Carolina, they're still trying to figure out how they didn't beat the Rams in that playoff game. But
For real.
So they hit early, so they came in a year early, you know. So there's a few teams that went into the playoffs trying to figure out how they didn't beat the Rams until Seattle blew them out. But at the end of the day, this division wasn't one that you would clamor to start snatching players from not named Bijan Robinson.
Oh, 100%. I think I ended up taking Baker last year in the 6th round.
Yeah.
And I was ecstatic because I, obviously being an Ohio State fan, we knew what Emeka Egbuka was. We knew what he was going to do in this league. And I really thought with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, that running game, especially with Rachaad White, I thought Tampa Bay, and more importantly, Baker, was going to go on a MVP crusade, especially in a weak division. And he did, yeah, for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Because you look at through 6 weeks of the season last year, Baker was the MVP of the league, and Ibuka was the rookie of the year.
Yep.
And then I don't know what happened. They hit a wall. I can't explain it, but it went the wrong way. It went the wrong way for them. And then they end up losing to basically a play-in game to Carolina.
Yeah.
And so it just completely fell apart. It shocked me they didn't make a coaching change, which for that coaching staff, I'm glad they didn't. You know, I don't want to see anybody get fired, but
no.
I thought for sure that they would make a change.
Well, you could clearly tell based on their draft, they felt in Tampa Bay that it was largely due to the defense because they went Reuben Bain in the first round.
Good pick.
Josiah, it was a great pick. Josiah Trotter in the second round, another good pick. That's your edge rusher and linebacker. In the fourth round, they went with Keontae Scott out of Miami, again, a defensive back. They followed that up with the defensive tackle. Like, they clearly needed some defense in their minds, and they went out and got it. Doesn't affect us too much fantasy-wise, other than the fact that it maybe puts, in a weak division that is getting better, but it's still one of the weaker ones in the NFL overall. That puts your running game into play. Guys like Bucky Irving and, more importantly, in my opinion, Kenny Gainwell this season are going to be viable for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, because the other running back went to the Commanders, went to Washington. Rachaad White went to Washington. But what this helps is with Mike Evans going to the 49ers, this really boosts the stock of Ibuka.
Yes.
It really boosts. Those 100-plus targets have to go somewhere else. So Ibuka, and I forget the young man's name who was hurt, had the neck injury, I believe.
Chris Godwin?
So No, Godwin had the ankle and all that, but Godwin's going to get his. He's healthy. He's going to get his. There was a young kid that had gotten hurt, neck injury, took a bad shot in a preseason game, but he's going to get a lot of targets as well because they targeted Mike Evans, 140 times roughly, somewhere in there. Those targets are going somewhere because they're not calling 140 additional runs. They're just not doing it. No. So Ibuka, I look for Ibuka to have another good year, but a complete season. And I look for Baker just because, and this is not a knock on him, just because of his attitude. He's got that dog in him. I fell off after 6-7 weeks. That ain't happening again. So he's going to be slinging that ball, and they'll look more competent. So the fact that they didn't change staffs is really going to help this team because they already have that camaraderie. So it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a team you want to take some players from.
Oh, 100%. Look, Cade Otton, as far as the late draft tight end. Yeah. Fantastic. He's going to score you touchdowns.
Somebody will take him earlier than the late round because he scores touchdowns.
Exactly. You got Chris Godwin Jr., Emeka Ibuka, Jalen McMillan. They got a rookie, Ted Hurst, and Tez Johnson as their main wide receivers. Again,
McMillan is the one I was talking about that had gotten hurt. That's the kid. That kid. Watch that kid this year. He's a guy that you can get to the not middle rounds, but late rounds before it gets really late. Go ahead and pluck him, and don't plan to start him. Just see how they use him, because I think he's going to walk in there as their clear number 3. And I think based on Godwin, because Godwin's getting old in football terms.
Yes,
I think you can see them roll out in a lot of 2 receiver sets with McMillan and Ibuka. And McMillan is going to be a player. He was looking good before he got dinged up. So if he's 100% healed from that injury, which I hope he is, I think he's going to produce some numbers this year.
Dig it. Sleeper already on the first team. Let's shift over to Atlanta. Obviously, you got Bijan. We know he's your guy. We know your number 1 player on that team, though. Because unless you have the first 2 picks, you're not getting Bijan Robinson. So I know Lou is specifically targeting wide receiver Drake London. That is his favorite player in the league. He's got every color Atlanta Falcons jersey just in Drake London.
Oh, you talking about this, Lou?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You gave me the old face. Oh, yeah, you gave me the old face. Oh, Drake London, nothing against the young man. He is one of my black marker players. When the draft starts, there's a black line that goes across his name. I had him, and you'd have never knew he was in the NFL. And I just didn't see it. I still don't see it. But he puts up some good numbers. He had a good year last year. So if you're needing a receiver and you're in a league with me and I'm drafting before or after you, just know you can wait on Drake London. So if the draft is coming back to you and it got to pass me once or twice, just know you're good if you're waiting on Drake London, because I'm not taking him.
No,
I'm not taking Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts played because he was playing for a contract. He will fall right back off the cliff. He's been trying to climb up since he's been in the league. His rookie year was good. Then he fell off. Then all of a sudden, it's contract year. Oh, well, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and start playing again. Had a good year. Now he got his bag, and good for him. Congratulations, young man. But man, you ain't messing up my fantasy football team. You don't get to keep these kind of trophies around messing with players like Kyle Pitts. You got to get you some ball players.
As someone who has had Kyle Pitts and Drake London at different times in their careers on my fantasy teams, I can attest to that, because there is no fantasy trophy behind me. So they will hose you when they get the chance. No matter how much you will it to happen. Yeah. What do you think about Michael Penix Jr. this year? They got Tua. They brought in Tua. Do you see Tua competing for that starting job? And if he does, do you think that adds any kind of value to the guys we were talking about?
It absolutely does. I see Tua beating him out.
So do I.
Yeah, because here's the story. New coach. Stefanski did not draft Michael Penix. Stefanski brought in Tua, knowing Michael Penix was already on the team. So if he was a firm believer in Penix, he wouldn't have bought in Tua. And people say he only did it because they're both left-handed. Okay, I can understand bringing in a left-handed backup. You don't have to change your protections. Everything stays the same. I know people that don't really understand football think that's a bunch of bullshit, but it's really not, because your strong tackle with a left-handed quarterback has to be the right tackle. But anyway, I ain't going to get too much into the weeds. But the bottom line is, I think Tua is better than Michael Penix. So I think he'll beat him out. And I think that really will drive up the numbers for Bijan Robinson. Believe it or not, he's so good, everybody knows he's getting the ball. But he's just so good, it doesn't matter if you know he's getting the ball. And it's also going to drive up numbers for Zachariah Branch, who they took in what was that, the third round. This kid's going to get the ball, because now you're dealing with a quarterback. Not that Penix was a runner because of his knees, but we know Tua's not running.
Right.
Because if he bumps his head on the inside of his helmet, he's going to be knocked out. And it might end his career. So he's not running anywhere. So, and then Tua's been there. Tua's played. Tua's just a better quarterback. If they actually open this up to if it's an open competition, Tua will beat out Michael Penix. So if you're drafting now, you completely stay away from the Atlanta quarterback situation. Your players to draft are obviously Bijan, and then you take London. Y'all take London. And y'all take Pitts. I'm not taking them. The player on this team that I'm touching is Bijan. And then if no one's paying attention in your drafts, rounds 15, go get Brian Robinson Jr. He's the backup to Bijan.
That was what I was just going to ask you. What kind of fantasy value does Brian Robinson have? Not because Bijan has an injury history or something might get happen where he could replace him, because that's not happening. We know Bijan's a tap helmet guy. He's not coming out unless he wants to come out.
And this is strictly a handcuff, because this is a new coaching staff. And if you watch Stefanski in Cleveland, he didn't do a whole lot of two platooning at running back. He played Nick Chubb, and then he played Quinshon Junkins, unless they needed to come out, or unless they were hurt, or unless it was a clear passing down, you had to bring another guy in. But Bijan can catch the ball. He's not coming off the field for Stefanski. So you're picking up Robinson late in the event, in the unlikely, hopefully does not have an event that Bijan has to miss a game, gets dinged up in a game or something like that, then you have the bell cow running back. But this isn't going to be a 60-40 split like the last coaching staff made it, taking Bijan off the field 35-40% of the game. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Just dumb. That's why they're out of a job.
Not a fan of it.
No.
Let's move on to the Carolina Panthers. This is a team. I love this for Bryce Young, the success they had. I still don't want to touch much of this team. You're looking at Bryce Young at quarterback with Kenny Pickett as his backup, Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Brooks, and Trevor Etienne as your running backs. Teteroa McMillan, Jalen Coker, Xavier Leggett are your three main receivers. Got some good backups, but nobody crazy. And Jatavion Sanders and Tommy Tremble, as we mentioned earlier, are your tight ends that are a good little duo there. Is fantasy value, Lou?
Not outside a lot of McMillan. I mean, not a lot at all. Keep an eye on their third-round draft pick, Chris Brazell, the third. I think he's going to start. If he can pick it up, depending on how difficult Cohen's offense is, I think that's the coach Cohen. I might be getting him mixed up with Jacksonville. But anyway, if he can pick up the offense, I think the young man will start because Tennessee runs a pretty wide open pass happy offense. So he's got to be able to run the tree. So we'll see what he does. But if he can pick up what they're doing, I look for him to start across from McMillan or even in that slot. It just all depends on how they want to play him, how they view him. But fantasy value, other than McMillan, this is a tough squad to judge. It's really going to be one of those let the NFL schedule release happen, and then we start diving into their matchups and their players. That's why I haven't released my rankings yet or anything like that. I have ideas of where I want guys to go, but you play a brutal schedule that could change all that. And this team won the division. So now they play a tougher schedule. So you got to see what games are home, what games are away. Luckily for them, their division doesn't scare anybody. So you at least get those 6 games where the division doesn't scare you. But the Saints are going to be better. Yes, Atlanta's going to be better based on just the coach alone.
I think the other thing going against Carolina too is, as Lou said, you won your division, so you're not sneaking up on anybody. You're not You're not the past you used to be for a lot of teams. They're going to take you a lot more seriously, which means you got to step your pussy up, and that might be a little difficult.
Like they say in high school and college, Carolina used to be everybody else's homecoming game. Yeah. No one's scheduling you for homecoming anymore because you won the division and everybody saw that playoff game against the Rams. They know you're not great, but they also know you're pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. So now we'll see how good Bryce Young really is. Let's leave it at that. But right now, only thing I'm really looking at from this team is McMillan.
Yeah, and I'm not even chasing him. If he falls to me, great, but I'm not trying to search him out. Moving on to the Saints. This is going to be a fun team fantasy-wise, in my opinion. You got Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler at quarterback, Travis Etienne, Alvin Kamara, and Kendre Miller, just in case, because Alvin Kamara's getting long in the tooth. At running back, Chris Olave, Jordan Tyson, the rookie, Devon Vele, who really came on last year. At wide receiver, Juwan Johnson and Noah Fant as your tight ends. This is a potentially loaded fantasy team.
It really is. And they play down there in the clown house. Yep. So and then they have the receiver that I swore them down Pittsburgh drafted. Remember the live? I'm like, maybe we'll take Jordan Tyson. I told you when you're there, you miss a couple picks, and I'm like, I think he's not there. Lou, they won't be taking Jordan Tyson. Okay,
that was the joke of the show. Was thinking you were gonna get Jordan Tyson 12 picks after he got taken.
Just completely popping in and out of service, missing stuff, trying to get in the show. Completely missed him being taken. But so he's clearly starting across from Olave.
Yes.
Which is a really good one too, because I've said before, if he can stay healthy, as much as I hope Carnell Tate is the best receiver to come out of this draft, Jordan Tyson could very well be the best receiver to come out of this draft if he can stay healthy. And with the Saints buying into Tyler Shough, they think they have what it takes to clearly win this division and make a run in the playoffs because they loaded up. And don't sleep on Bryce Lance. That's Trey Lance's little brother, which means he's been playing with an NFL quarterback his entire life, first and foremost.
Yeah.
But officially for the last 3 or 4 years. So he understands an NFL offense. Not only 1, but 2, because Trey Lance has been on – actually 3, because he's been on 3 different teams.
Right.
So he understands the lay of the land in the NFL. And I know he's coming out of smaller school because they're North Dakota State products. But you get to the NFL, you can play.
100%.
And so he has a shoulder up or a leg up, as they say, on some other guys because his brother's already in the league. And he plays the toughest position in the league as quarterback. So this young man should understand coverages. He should understand the route trees. So if he's the athlete everybody thinks he is, look for him to be a nice little sneaky pickup on this team because Olave has a injury history, which definitely. We love him, and I hope that God he doesn't get another concussion because that may be it. So let's hope he does. I hope that doesn't happen to that young man because he's a good young man. But this kid, he could take advantage of the situation if he can get in there.
Oh, 100%. And as Lou said, they loaded up on offense in this draft just to get
they took Barian Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, they went Jordan Tyson the first round, then they went defensive tackle in the second. Oscar Delp out of Georgia, a tight end.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Wright, guard. Bryce Lance at wide receiver in the 4th round. Lorenzo Styles, which is a great pick at safety, just personal note. Barian Brown and TJ Hall to end their draft. They didn't really worry about defense until the end of the draft. They went heavy offense. So they are all in on Tyler Shough. They know this division's as weak as everybody else does. They know they're going to have a light schedule.
Yeah.
This is their shot. If they got their team, this is their shot. And I love the addition. The one guy I really do want on this offense is Travis Etienne.
Oh, absolutely.
New Orleans has always had a good running game.
They've always featured the running back.
Fantastic back.
They've always featured the running back through different coaches. It's just they've always featured the running back. So I would definitely make a push to get Etienne, and I would make a push to get Olave.
Yeah.
And then, depending on how your draft is setting up, if it's going the way you want it to go, I would start peeking at guys like Jordan Tyson. Because he'll be there. Look at the receiver position is 50 deep. So he'll be there. So just look at him, peek, and go, let me pluck him. And then the sleeper, if you're in I know this, we're talking 12-team PPR, but in your super flex leagues, don't sleep on this quarterback. The guy that won one of my leagues last year started this quarterback. Started him. And it hit. Because he just didn't take a quarterback. He's like, I guess I'll take the Saints quarterback. And the Saints believed in him for a reason because he put up numbers. Now, this was super flex, so he had another quarterback, but this kid held his own. And with all these weapons around him and the offense they run with Kellen Moore down there, he's going to put up numbers again by default. Now, he's not going to crack our top 12 core. He's not going to crack my top 12 ranking, but he's not going to be far out of the top 12.
Let me ask you this for a Superflex league. Is Tyler Shough somebody maybe, because I know typically in Superflex leagues, your first 2 picks are quarterbacks.
At least one of them are. At least your first pick usually is.
Does Tyler Shough putting that into your draft strategy give you an opportunity to go quarterback, top receiver, top running back, and then fall back to Tyler Shough in like the 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th rounds because nobody's looking at him at that point?
Absolutely. And so does a guy like Kyler Murray at this point because people pissed at Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Is he going to play or is he going to play video games? But this kid here, people are still kind of overlooking him. So you can take your quarterback, go get some positions and just watch your draft. Watch the draft board. If people are taking 2 quarterbacks and not taking a 3rd right out the bat, They'll pick a third up and because somebody's going to have a bye 1 week. And then sometimes in the super flex leagues, when the quarterback has a bye, they'll just stick a receiver or running back in that spot and just live with it for a week. But if you get your quarterback, he'll be there. Just watch what everybody else does. He'll come right back around to you.
There you go. Do you like doubling up before we move on to our next division? Do you like doubling up? Would you like, if you really believe in Tyler Shook this year, where you can get him late, just in any league, well, except for maybe a guillotine, because that's a lot. That's a big ask.
You don't have to take him in a guillotine.
No.
Yeah, totally different league.
So, but you can get your quarterback late in Tyler. You believe in him 100%. Do you like doubling up a receiver or a running back with your quarterback?
Oh, I actually love it. But the thing is, you got to commit, however you choose to draft. Like, I love doing that myself. I'm not a big fan of it in guillotine because, if you lose, you're out of the league.
Right.
So if you're the least lowest scoring person, your season's over in a guillotine league. But in any other league, I love it. But like any other draft, you have to be comfortable with the decisions you make. It's just like making trades. If you choose to make it, don't follow the person that you just traded. He's gone. Let him go.
Right.
So what if he scores 40 points the next week and you only get 10 out of your guy? You shouldn't even really know that unless you're playing against him. Quit chasing what was. So if you're going to double up, you got to live and die with what the Saints are going to do. You get a bunch of games in the dome. You get 8 or 9 in the dome. You get another Carolina, Atlanta's. There's 10 in the dome. Carolina, Tampa Bay. There's 12. There's 12 warm weather games. You only stand to play at best 6 games in adverse conditions. So that's not a bad double up on that.
No.
And they're going to air the ball out and they're going to put up points. They didn't make this. They didn't draft what they drafted to run the ball up the middle.
No.
They're looking to make this thing what they're looking to replicate the Dallas Cowboys offense, basically.
I see that.
Is what they're going to be trying to do. It's going to be wide open.
With a better running back.
It's going to be wide open.
Yep. All right, let's move over to the NFC West now. We have got to spend some time in this division, Lou. It is loaded.
Pretty much loaded from a fantasy standpoint.
Oh my gosh. We're going to start with the Cardinals just because it's alphabetical and that makes it easy for me. So right now, they got Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, Carson Beck as their 3 quarterbacks. Jeremiah Love, Tyler Algier, James Conner as their 3 running backs. I'd mention Trey Benson, but if anybody gets cut, it's going to be him. Wide receiver-wise, they got Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back off of injury, Michael Wilson, Kendrick Bourne, who they signed, and at tight end, probably the best in the biz right now, Trey McBride.
Yeah.
Everybody I mentioned is fantasy relevant.
And they added Jeremiah Love, which I don't understand that. And nothing against the player because he's going to start. He came in the league. He is now the highest paid running back in the league because of the contract structure. His $50+ million is guaranteed, which makes him the highest paid running back in the league. So he's starting, period. My question is, why sign Algier and extend James Conner? You do one or the other, and I get it. You did both. Like Trey Benson's cut or traded.
Yeah.
And hopefully his career can get back on track with somebody else. He got injured and never got off. He never got untracked.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but look, NFL doesn't wait on anybody. So then Connor's getting long in the tooth. So why extend him? So, and if you extended him before you signed Algier, why sign Algier? Because you still have Benson. So their draft pick at 3rd overall, you got so much other stuff that you could have done. You got the best run. You got arguably the best player in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
But you did it at a position that you were already in the process of fortifying, knowing that you had an opportunity to get this guy. There was no chance that Jeremiah Love was going to be gone before you picked. There was no chance. That only left 1 pick. The Jets were not taking him because they had Breece Hall. And we all knew who the Raiders were taking. So you knew you were getting this guy, and you still did that. It doesn't make sense unless you're going to run the wishbone, or maybe they'll come out and run the wishbone.
I think.
Man, why you have all those receivers if you want to run the wishbone?
I have a feeling
Makes sense.
they're going to do. I think they're mimicking Atlanta, and they're just that dumb where they put Tyler Algiers up there or sign Tyler Algier because they're like, well, it worked at Atlanta. They're going to flex out Love a lot into that slot. And they've already talked about it. They're going to use him as a wide receiver a lot. And it is going to bite him in the ass. Now, my question is, if you're going to do that, why not take the wide receiver and Carnell Tate and just be done with it?
You don't need him as a wide receiver. No. You already have a good wide receiving core. You have the best tight end in the league. Turn around and hand the young man the football.
That's it.
You want to dump it off to him in pass plays, that's fine. Flexing him out for what?
Yeah, exactly. But
what are we flexing him out for? I don't understand. They are very fantasy relevant. And really, the guy you want, because the ball's going everywhere, believe it or not, is Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
You want the quarterback because the ball's going everywhere. And clearly you want McBride. If you guys are taking McBride in the first round, you can have him. I'm not taking a tight end in the first round. Maybe not taking it because the tight end position all of a sudden got kind of deep after last year when you seen these young fellas rise up. So you can get a tight end in the second or third round, actually third or fourth round, and be pretty good with it, depending on what you're looking for out of your tight end position and what other positions you pick up in the meantime. But if you can get this guy, clearly he's not a tight end, he's a wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, he puts up just buckets of points. Now,
yeah, he's a wide receiver. He's their number one target.
This is what I will say. He did that without Jeremiah Love there. He did that without Marvin Harrison Jr. there because of injury. He did that with Jacoby Brissett. This is going to be, and Kyler Murray, I should say, who loved the dump off. I'm with you. Trey McBride is by far the best fantasy scorer there is as far as tight ends go. But again, I'm not chasing him because I don't know what this offense is going to look like with Love. That pick was so wild. I don't know what they're going to utilize him or how they will. And until that happens, I'll be honest with you. I'll take Jeremiah Love, obviously. I'll take Michael Wilson late because he's going to be the Michael Pittman in Pittsburgh. He's just going to be a PPR machine.
In the ball, yeah.
And then, if I can get Trey McBride in round 3, yeah, but he ain't going to be there. I just don't see.
Somebody's going to take him.
I think the fantasy production for him falls off this year just because of the new look in the offense. I think they're going to be a very different scheme.
Well, again, you're dealing with a team with a new coach.
Yep.
But that coach comes from Seattle, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And Seattle loves the tight end. Mm-hmm. They love the tight end especially around the end zone. They did.
Yes, that's true.
They will get the ball. But some players, what you have to look at, some players are coach proof and quarterback proof. This guy is a Hall of Fame tight end. I'm telling you now, he's a Hall of Fame tight end. He's coach proof, quarterback proof. The young man's getting the ball. He's going to be the number one tight end again this year in fantasy football. If not number one, he ain't falling past 3. And that just all depends on how the new coach in Vegas uses Brock Bowers. Because Brock Bowers is a dog too. He just didn't have the proper stuff around him. But he's also dealing with a rookie quarterback.
Yep.
This guy has a quarterback. Everybody thinks Jacoby Brissett is 42. Dude 29. So,
right.
He's just seemed like he old.
Yep.
But he loves McBride.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting the ball. It's that simple. So his production isn't going to drop. It's just where do you have him at your draft value? If you're picking and you see if you're picking 11th or 12th in a 12-teamer like we're talking about, man, look, would you rather have a receiver or would you rather have the number one tight end? What receiver can you get? How many receivers went before?
Well, right.
So would you rather have the 5th best wide receiver or the number one ranked tight end? That's what you have to ask yourself. That's why it's important to put draft strategies together before the draft starts. Don't be trying to strategize for your draft 15 minutes before the draft. It's not going to work.
I got to ask, I know I'm setting myself up here for complete and utter failure because I need this to be quick so we can move on. Do you put any stock into the rumors that the Arizona Cardinals are chasing Aaron Rodgers and are quietly bidding?
Well, they're putting it out on Twitter and stuff, and if they get him, fine. But I think you already have him. He's called Jacoby Brissett.
Yep. Fair enough.
I mean, at least Jacoby Brissett can run.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be cussing out the players and blaming everybody the moment shit go wrong. What I can't figure out is why they would want Aaron Rodgers. He has, number one, you can't sign him until training camp.
Yeah.
He has no rapport with anybody on that team as far as the players go. I don't know the coaching staff, but on the players, he didn't play with them guys. Mm-mm. So why would you go pursue that? Jacoby Brissett is probably not going to win you a Super Bowl, okay? But is it him or is it your overall team makeup? I think it's a combination of the two.
Well, yeah. Let's just put this to bed right now. The Arizona Cardinals in this division are not going to the Super Bowl and probably not going to the playoffs.
No.
No matter who the quarterback is.
They're probably playing for third in the division.
Yeah, exactly.
So why Aaron Rodgers isn't going to want to do that? And if he does, kudos, because that saves my team. I'd rather roll out with one of these rookies we got, be honest with you. But they are courting. Their players are tweeting at him. He's a West Coast guy. You know, we all know that. So, look, man, just stay on the West Coast. I just don't see why. But I also didn't see why they drafted Jeremiah Love. Well, I don't see why they signed all those other running backs and then drafted Jeremiah Love. Right. I should put it like that.
They're trying to get asses in the seats. That's all it is as far as I'm concerned. Every move they're making is selling tickets. Let's move on to the Rams. We got Matt Stafford at quarterback, Ty Simpson, the first-round pick, backing him up, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum at running back, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Jordan Whittington at wide receiver, and Colby Parkinson and Tyler Higbee at your tight ends. Lou, this team is always right there. We talk about fantasy relevance. I mean, my God, it's there. Just as a reference for their draft, obviously I mentioned Ty Simpson. They also, in the second round, picked up tight end Max Clare out of Ohio State, offensive tackle Keegan Trost out of Missouri, and wide receiver CJ Daniels out of Miami. They loaded up their offense once again.
Yep, and sooner or later the old man going to fall off. But he hadn't fallen off yet. He just won the MVP.
Yep.
So as much as everybody hated the pick, including the coach and including myself, I see what they were doing, but they could have got Ty Simpson in the second round. No one was taking him in the first round.
Nope.
They could have got him in the second. You know, I don't think he'd have fell to the third, but they could have got him in the second. So, and picking at 13, there's clearly areas they could have used some help at. They could have, at 13, they could have had Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah.
They could have traded up 2 spots and got Jordan Tyson and jumped the Saints.
Yep.
I mean, but they didn't even have to do that. Mekhi Lemon was on the board for him.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done. Then they should have came back with Ty Simpson if you liked him that much in the second round, or trade back into the first round and pick him. But you got a guy.
A ton of guys still left on that board that would have helped them.
But I'm saying receiver because Devontae Adams is old. Mm-hmm. He's already dealing with hamstring issues that popped up last year. So you got to get another receiver on the outside that can help Puka out. Puka gonna be Puka if he keep his. We're just talking on-field stuff. Yeah. If you keep his off-field shit together, he's a top 4 receiver, top 4 or 5 receiver. Period. You want to argue that? Maybe you just don't like the guy. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Puka gonna be Puka. As long as he don't trip himself up off the field, which he needs to calm down a little bit. But nonetheless, I couldn't understand why they wouldn't pick up Mekhi Lemon. He's already right there in L.A. Coming out of USC, and just drive down the street and go to the facility. He's right there, and he's one of the top 4 receivers in the draft. And you need a receiver. You have some other guys that always – but how that always seem to show up. But how good are those guys? Because you're playing with a Hall of Fame quarterback. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, you've middled around at receiver for so long. I'm talking Van Jefferson days.
Yes.
Robert Smith days, Robert Woods days.
Robert Woods,
yeah. Like you've had these guys on your team that are just middling. Why not go out there and get one, a rookie that immediately makes your MVP that much better, and two, instead of replacing your MVP in the first round, which you don't need to do, get ready to place Devontae Adams, and then replace. Like you could have both these guys coming in, and you miss nothing when these guys retire. But instead, you did that. Shit, I'd have taken Kenyon Sadiq. You still could have gotten him.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could have got somebody to come in and make an impact. Now the tight end they got is good. I mean, I know I'm a homer, but Max Clare's good. But
of course,
Ohio State didn't have to use him a lot. They didn't have to use him. You got all these weapons running around here in college. It's crazy.
He's also the fourth tight end on the roster right now.
Yeah, but they could even took a different position, traded back in the first round, and got Omar Cooper. Yeah, they could have done so much to help the receiving position, and they went with a quarterback who has no chance of playing this year, barring injury.
100% agree.
Maybe no chance of playing next year, barring injury. Just depends on when the guy wants to retire. But you had Stetson Bennett already, I believe, was their backup, who's been there. So you could have just rolled with him in the event of injury.
Yeah,
I didn't understand their draft. That's why the coach was pissed. So now you're bringing a quarterback in who had never met the coach, never met him. What if they don't like each other? And that is highly possible in this business. Mm-hmm. They're liable just to meet and just not like each other. That's problematic.
Let's do this. Let's get off Ty Simpson because he has zero fantasy relevance to us right now whatsoever. Yeah. So as far as I'm with the coach, fuck him. I don't care. Why are we talking about him? Kyren Williams and Blake Corum are far more valuable than Ty Simpson right now.
Yeah.
Do you see that being a problem, the fact that Kyren is their workhorse until they get to the goal line? Because Kyren doesn't get the ball a lot.
I had this conversation last week with Nate Nestor, who's going to be the commissioner of our Dynasty League. Mm-hmm. We had him on the live show. You know Nate. And he had an offer for the 6th overall pick in Dynasty and for a Kyren Williams trade. I said, you absolutely take it because Blake Corum is getting the ball more and more and more, and you get the 6th best rookie, and it all depends on who in your league needs what to who that rookie is that falls to you in that draft. But then he told me his other players. I'm like, I would get rid of Kyren because he had other players where he could spare him. Just because I see his value dropping because I see them believing more and more in Blake Corum. 100%. Nothing against what Kyren Williams is doing. It's just the coaches. The Rams are a team where you want the quarterback because everybody else other than Puka is really hit and miss. I mean, there was games where Devontae Adams had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns and 6 yards. So he looked like a decent fantasy day, but he had 2 catches for 6 yards.
Yep.
So it was only goal line stuff.
100%.
They didn't play the ball during the game. Then they already have 3 tight ends, and you just drafted another one.
Yeah, there's a couple situations in which Kyren is attractive to me. If you're doing a 0 RB build in your draft,
oh yeah, perfect.
He's great, and he plays into that strategy very well, where his current ADP is. So he plays well there. But again, don't expect touchdowns. And Kyren Williams has the same problem Rachaad White has. They don't have that breakaway speed that makes them clearly that guy. They have everything else in the arsenal you could want in a running back. They just don't have that speed, and it's killed them. And it's killed Rachaad White. It's killing Kyren Williams right now. Puka's obviously the first or second receiver taken off the board. It's either him or Jamar Chase, just depending on your flavor.
Yeah. Oh, well, JSN.
And JSN's up there too.
The receivers are deep.
Deep. With that being said, because let's say Bijan goes, right? Bijan's gone at 1. You're sitting at 2. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, you got Puka Nacua, Jamar Chase, JSN. Who you taking? Is Puka there? Are you just following
No, I'm
what
not
they
taking
tell
Puka.
you?
No, I'm not
Yeah.
taking Puka in that case.
I wouldn't either.
No. I'm going Gibbs, or receivers.
Yeah.
And the receiver's not Puka. It would be in my top 5, but I would still rather take like an Ahmad Ron because I know Puka's getting the ball too, but the Rams will come out and run the ball 45 times in one game.
Yep.
That's what you have. The Rams don't give a damn. No team gives a damn about fantasy football, but the Rams don't give a damn.
No.
They play to the game plan. Teams like Detroit are going to get their stars the ball.
Yes.
So I would do that. I would go. I mean, in this case, I'm definitely taking Jamar Chase. At 2 if I'm taking the receiver, I'm going Jamar Chase. If they're 100%. Taking Bijan, give me Chase because we know what they're going to do down there on the river. They're throwing the ball.
Yes, they are.
So there's no way I'm taking Puka over Chase.
No. Moving on to the San Francisco 49ers. You listening, Bug? This one's for you. Brock Purdy at quarterback. Mac Jones is still backing him up. Christian McCaffrey, Jordan James, and Kalen Black are your running backs. So basically Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk are your 3 receivers. George Kittle and Jake Tongas are your tight ends. Both of them are coming off of injuries, though. Brandon Ayuk still on the team. I'm just fucking with you. We all know he ain't going to be there. Demarcus Robinson is their other big wide receiver, if you want to say big receiver. Lou, outside of, look, I'm going to start here. I know a lot of people, and by a lot of people, I mean everybody ranks Brock Purdy high. 5, 6. I have never been a fan of Brock Purdy. Period. It's nothing against the guy. He's doing his thing. But he's never been... to me, he's Tyler Shuck. If you want to take him, go ahead.
He's better than Tyler Shuck. He's better than Tyler Shuck now. He's better than Tyler Shuck.
But I mean, from
I was getting ready to say...
That's just how I view him. I
was getting ready to say Jeff Goff.
Okay.
Because... No flash.
Yep.
All he does, every time you look up, they win.
Yep.
And he has numbers. He's not the fastest runner. He will run, but he's not the fastest runner.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the strongest arm. But the son of a bitch is a winner.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with fantasy football. How are they ranking him that high? I don't know. Especially with this lackluster draft they had.
Yeah.
Kittle's coming off of Achilles, so hopefully he can get in next year. I don't think he's going to be ready for the beginning of the year, but I don't know. He a beer drinking machine, so he might be. According to WrestleMania, he a beer drinking machine, so he might be ready for the season, but I don't think it's going to be ready for the start seriously, though. No. So he's going to fall off. We're all waiting on Mr. McCaffrey, just like we're waiting on Mr. Henry, to hit this wall that everybody says they got. Eventually, they have to hit it. But neither one of them have hit it yet. So until McCaffrey hits that wall, I'm still taking a chance on him, maybe late first round. I got to be picking 10, 11, 12 to take him.
Yeah.
And then I still might, if I'm picking that late, I might get somebody else and hope he come back around to me.
Exactly.
But nowhere in the top 9 picks am I taking McCaffrey.
If ever there was a team poised at the cliff to fall off,
it's this one.
It's this one. Because you got Mike Evans, old. Christian McCaffrey, old. George Kittle, if he makes it back, old. Ricky Pearsall and Christian Kirk. I mean, Ricky Pearsall's still young, but Christian Kirk is just kind of leveled off at that middle ground.
He's what he's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Pearsall, I mean, he hasn't taken a step to prove that he's going to be a really viable NFL player.
No.
Kudos to him for getting back after getting shot in the chest anyway. So
50 Cent got shot 9 times and put out 2 platinum albums. Step it up, Ricky. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, he ain't playing no football though. But nonetheless, though, it's just this team they just always win. How?
Yeah.
So from a fantasy standpoint, though, no Juwan Jennings. He's not going to be back.
Nope.
Brandon Ayuk is still on the roster, but he's going to be with Washington.
Yep.
So I'm not sure. Other than McCaffrey, I might take is it Tonjes, the backup tight end?
Yep.
Because he's going to be the starter. Just give me one of those. I mean, give me those two guys. That's all I'm really looking at.
Yeah, if I'm in a super flex, obviously Brock Purdy's a lot more attractive. We've mentioned that a couple times, but I don't want him to be my starter. Now, I've said that. Luke, who is a contributor on this show and is looking to start his own gig here in a minute, has drafted Brock Purdy almost every year and has won a championship with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, which you can.
So you can do it, and you just have to believe in him, because if he does have that down week, a guy like me, fuck Brock Purdy. He's on the trade block immediately because I didn't like him anyway. He's Ty Simpson for me. I didn't like him anyway. Why is he on my team?
Yeah, if you're taking a quarterback like Brock Purdy, that means your team around him is so solid, should be.
Yes.
So solid that if he only gets 20 to 25 points, you should be in every game in fantasy. We all want to take quarterbacks like everybody wants Josh Allen. We all want our quarterback. I don't give a damn who you take. We all want our quarterback to get 35 to 40 points.
Of course.
If you build your team around a quarterback like Brock Purdy, he only needs 20 to 25 for you to be very viable and very relevant week in and week out.
And I think
it's roster construction.
You hit the nail on the head. That is,
all
you have to strategize knowing you're getting a 20-point quarterback who may hit once in a while, but it ain't happening. You're more than likely to get the 18 points slip than you are the 30-point boost.
You pairing him with Bijan, Gibbs, or like Jamar Chase or somebody, or even a Jamar Chase, and then coming back with can't remember the receivers right now, but two good receivers, a solid running back. The quarterback's fine, giving you 20 to 25.
Yep. Hey, dude, I've seen mock drafts right now where you can go Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors.
Perfect. Because he's coming back off of ACL.
Yep. And then you can still snag Brock Purdy in the 5th round, which means you can get your
and how bad does that look? Yeah. Yep. Now you got running backs too. That team looks
now
good.
It's sexy as hell. Yep.
Yeah. Until you trade them all before week 1.
God damn it. Did you just talk me into drafting Brock Purdy? This motherfucker's slick, y'all. Be careful.
You won't have him in week 1 if you draft him. You'll trade him.
I 100% will trade him. Moving on. Rounding out the show, the Seattle Seahawks, your Super Bowl champions. Pains me to say. Great draft for them. Jadarian Price. This was, for me, the best pick of the first round. Period. It's close, but keep in mind, he's like a year and a half, 2 years removed from a torn Achilles too. Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't flare back up on him. That's the only thing that makes me nervous about him. Other than that, he's a hell of a running back.
Yes.
And they're going to use him because
Zach
Charbonnet, the wine guy is coming off of a ACL tear.
That's right.
So this guy's going to get some time, and he's going to get an opportunity to prove that he's an NFL caliber running back.
Yeah, and outside of him, man, the Seahawks really boosted their defense because they needed to.
They let everybody else go.
Yep, in their draft. And, I mean, outside of a couple mid-round picks on offense, same look as it was. Sam Darnold, Zach Charbonnet, Jadarian Price, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, who's going to have a full season now on this team, and A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo at tight end. Everybody on this team, outside of obviously Charbonnet right away, is fantasy relevant today.
Really, actually, I'll give you a little pushback. And JSN, obviously. Yeah. Darnold is a good super flex quarterback. Mm-hmm. I consider Darnold and Purdy the same guy. Like, I'm drafting them in the same area.
Yeah, I can see that.
The only reason I would take Darnold higher than Purdy is because he has JSN.
Exactly what I was going to say.
So you have a weapon that can't be guarded. And then you have Rashid Shaheed, who's going to get you 0 this week and 22 next week. So he's going to average somewhere around 10 or 11. That's just who he is. He's just a deep route runner. And then Seattle, you don't know what they're going to do either, though. They're like the Rams. They will run that ball 50 times in a game.
Yep.
They will run it 50 times in 65 plays. And so if you take these players off this team, you got to live with that. If you draft any Seattle tight ends, you're drafting them with the potential to score, which is going to be Barner.
Yep.
So
and that's it.
Yeah, that's really all you can do. And any rookie you draft, you're taking a chance because this is not college football anymore, people. So you draft any rookie from Jeremiah Love to his backup in college, Jadarian Price, you're taking a chance. So,
and I'll tell you this right now: if I draft Jadarian Price, I am drafting Zach Charbonnet. I don't care if I have to.
Oh, you have to
go down and get him late. You have to double these two
because you don't know who's going to start.
Exactly.
So you know you at least you have the starter one way or another, and you just might miss it one week. You start this guy, but the other guy starts. Next week you just switch it. That's all. And then you hope they don't play that game where you don't know who's going to start week to week. That's what you hope they don't do.
The most interesting guy, I mean, obviously JSN, he's getting the ball. He is proven who he is. He's Sam Darnold's guy. They are getting him the ball.
And they just gave him all that money. He getting the ball.
And what I also like is with Rashid Shaheed, he's no longer responsible for taking the top off the defense. He can actually run a route tree a lot more because Rashid Shaheed is going to be your go route guy.
Yeah, what he's doing. You notice he's middling around in the middle of the field a whole lot more now.
Yeah.
He did that. I mean, once Shaheed came over, JSN didn't go deep too much. He went deep, but he made a lot of his work, middle of the field, out 15, 20 yards down the field, 10, 15, I should say, down the field. He made a killing in that area.
Yep. And I think
those linebackers can't stay with him when he's running across the field like that.
No. And that also makes him so much more fantasy relevant, especially in a PPR situation.
Yeah.
Because his catches go up.
Obviously. And that allows and that particular route tree he's running allows him to catch and run.
Yep. 100%.
He's just not deep ball reliant, which is good.
Cooper Kupp is playing the Christian McCaffrey on this team. When is he going to hit the wall?
He hasn't hit the wall, but if you're taking Cooper, you're taking him really late and you're using him on bye weeks.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad if he's on your bench and you have a Ahmad Rod, Neighbors, and a T. Higgins. Those are your starters. Kupp's on the bench and he gets 20 this week. Don't bat an eye at it because next week he's getting 3. Exactly. Don't do anything stupid and put one of those other guys on the bench. You play him when you have to play him. Other than that, you're good.
Yeah, he's the older version for me of, let's say, Michael Pittman, Michael Wilson in Arizona. Like one of these really good possession receivers where he can scoop up or scoop up catches.
Yeah.
I just don't see a lot of yards to it. I don't see a lot of coming in his life anymore.
Because the receiver position is so deep that you don't – if you're starting Cooper Kupp, it's because of a bye week, injuries, or you just had a bad draft.
Yep. And by the way, I'd rather take Michael Wilson or Michael Pittman Jr. over Cooper Kupp at this point.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, I can name you 60 receivers you take over.
No question.
Talking about starting them.
No question. Next week, Lou, we're going to be doing the AFC South and AFC West preview. That's going to be a good show. Still a lot of draft talent left in these conversations, man. This league is deep.
If you do your research and you compare up this year, the league should be really competitive if you're paying attention to what these teams have, because every position is now relevant. Even the tight end position has gotten better.
Yeah.
But the receiver position is so deep. The running back position has come back, especially with guys switching teams. So you have backups go to teams where they're going to be starters now. So that position even became more relevant. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these drafts start to unfold.
No, it's going to be fun. I've already started doing some mock drafts just to get an idea of where people are falling, and not with bots, not auto draft dumbasses, just actual people. And I know everybody's figuring their stuff out still, but it's interesting where a lot of these guys are falling and how you can wait. For some reason, people are staying away from Jamar Chase. I'm getting him in the 7th, 8th pick in the first round.
And that's fine because
I ain't mad at it.
You really can't, but you can't argue with him going 7th or 8th when you break down the top overall players. depending on what the format of your league is, you can't argue with him being the seventh pick.
Nope.
There's 6 players that could very well go before him. It's just your preference.
Yep. That is a wide receiver projected to score over 300 fantasy points this year and is getting taken 7th. That's how deep this league is.
Yeah, it's really deep. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I love it. Lou, you got anything else for the people?
No, just once again, we know these particular shows as we breaking down the divisions are running a little long, so we do appreciate you guys staying with us. Watch it in bits and pieces if you have to, but just please watch. Hit that like and subscribe button for us and helps us get into the right algorithm. We are pleased with the amount of subs that we're seeing come in, and we do thank you folks for that. We do have listener leagues that will be forming here, and it's soon. I'm not going to give you a date. We're soon, but we do have our Dynasty commissioner in line. So we'll start to form those leagues, and please hit that like and subscribe. And as always, be kind to each other. We'll see you next time.
That's it. And before we go, I got to ask, is your boutique business being found where it matters most? If you aren't at the top of Google, you're losing leads to the competition. Calibration Media Group specializes in high-performance Google ad campaigns that put your shop or real estate listings directly in front of motivated buyers. We combine expert search strategy with professional video content to drive massive ROI without the big agency price tag. Get premium results at a low price that fits your budget. Jesus. Visit us at calibrationmediagroup.com. Calibration Media Group, your brand amplified. For Lou Willard, I am Corey Idle. This is the Champ and the Chump Fantasy Football Podcast. We will catch you on the flip side.